Welcome, friends, to the Syncretism Society Academy, Virtual Academy. Thank you for joining us. Today we have a special show that we're doing, and we're going to be talking about a great product for health. And this product is based on glutathione. So what is glutathione? I've only known about glutathione for about a year now. So, and the way I've been taking glutathione has been with lightweight patches, but now I've found another way, and this is what we're going to be talking about today, guys. This product here, NutraSwish from Numi. And also for the skin, Yumi for the skin. And glutathione is, just before we introduce our two guests who are going to talk to us about this product, glutathione is the most important molecule for the body, besides hydrogen, the hydrogen molecule. For antioxidants and for detoxing the body and restoring the health. Glutathione is made of glycine, cysteine and glutamic acid. So it's an interesting molecule, and the technology we're going to be talking about that got it into this powerful pack of a bottle is what we're going to be talking about today, guys. So without further ado, I welcome Ray Donnelly and Sheldon Sugar. Welcome, guys.
Well, thanks very much, Santos, for having us today. Sheldon and I are honored to be with you to share some insight as to the best of our abilities.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Just one moment before we proceed. Can we see them on the screen? Oh, yeah, they are. Okay. Good. I can see you. I just want to see you on the video streaming live. Good. So it's good to be with you guys, because we've been communicating to and fro since I've been using this product for about, 3 months?
Give or take.
Yeah. And Sheldon, I have to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being so encouraging with this product and sharing all the videos of the success that people are having and all the wonderful things that are happening with it. And you just kept telling me to try it, how to get it to you in Mexico. We found a way. And thank you, brother, because I really appreciate this. I swish 3 times a day, first thing in the morning, 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock, according to that doctor, the Latin American doctor you have there. You have one video with him. I forget his name.
Dr. Valdez.
Dr. Valdez, yeah. He says 4 o'clock is when you have to swish to get the peak absorption of glutathione. Glutathione, now there are people who take injections of glutathione and it costs about $1,000. This is so affordable by comparison, and yet those injections only last 2 or 3 days. So they're going back and forth getting injections of glutathione because it's so important for the body, like vitamin C. The vitamin C cannot be produced by the body in human beings, so we need vitamin C every day, right? So glutathione, they've found a way, which we're going to talk about now, how nano, not only is this nano, but there's other technologies involved, pure water, many other things that are in this bottle, that you swish 2 capfuls of this for 30 seconds and then swallow. Right, and it stays. How long? It stays a lot longer than. What's the duration of its staying power in the body?
Well, actually, once you swish, within that 30 to 70 seconds, it's in the cell. So once it's in the cell, it's there. So it's not like it's going to dissipate but your body does recycle glutathione on a daily basis. It cycles and recycles it every day, like thousands and millions of times. Your body is pretty complex organism, that's for sure. What we should do, Santos, though, is just as we're getting started, it's very important that we have two little quick statements that need to be stated. These statements that we're mentioning have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, and these products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. It's something that we have to say to make sure that we are clear and accurate in our statements here today.
For sure, I understand that. It's like with everything, one auntie will recommend lemon juice and hot water in the morning. Another auntie will recommend celery juice. No one has, we like it. We're going to share it with people. That's what we're here to do. That's all. So ever since I discovered glutathione, I've done a lot of research on it, and I've watched every single video that's come from Numi, every single one of them, and it just impresses me more and more. So let's talk about, say, the technology. How did Stephen, what's his surname now?
Scott. Stephen Scott.
I knew it was another SS. Stephen Scott, how did he come up with it? Well, actually, he didn't come up with it. He met the guys that were developing this. Let's talk about that.
Sure. Actually, we do have a video that we will play in a few minutes, but we will talk a little bit about that. What I understand, this is something that's been in the works for a number of years. Originally, Stephen had a precursor glutathione product, and wonderful results happened because of that. However, it wasn't nano size, which is what we have here. And it was good, but this is next level. This is the advancement of science with nutrition, where they've been able to nano-size glutathione for easy absorption into the cell, as well as in our NutraSwish, this one product here that was just shared with you. NutraSwish also has nano-sized cysteine, which is the amino acid of the 3 amino acids that make up glutathione. It's the one that our bodies is the most depleted in. So not only are we giving the body a nano-sized glutathione to help the body to deal with all of the things it has to deal with, there's over 400 different functions that glutathione is responsible for. It's been coined, the master antioxidant, the master molecule of the body, and it's in every single cell in our body, which kind of gives you an idea of how critically important that is to the body to assist it. And having the extra nano-sized cysteine, so we're giving the body glutathione, we're also helping the body produce its own glutathione by giving it the amino acid that is lacking the most. And the process has been under development for several years and was finally perfected a few years ago. And then they just enhanced that even further to what we have now, because there's a few versions of the NutraSwish prior to having NutraSwish, where they've just been able to bring the nano-sized particles down more and more. To give you a little bit of a background on that, just so you understand, generally in the industry of nano-sizing, there is what we call liposomal and what we have called hydrostat, very different to everybody else. In the liposomal nano-sizing, you're usually looking at around 100 nanometers in size. However, you need to be, and you can actually get some of the liposomals down to 40 and 60 nanometers. But to be really effective in the body, to pass through the blood-brain barrier, what I understand and what I've learned is that it has to be less than 20 nanometers in size. And just so you are all aware, our hydrostat nanotechnology is less than 10 nanometers in size. That's why within 30 seconds, it's in the blood. Within 70 seconds, it's in the cell. And what we're giving the body is a nano glutathione, nano cysteine, nano vitamin C. We're also giving it nano curcumin, which is turmeric. And we know that turmeric, as well as glutathione, is phenomenal for inflammation. So we're getting this added benefit of helping with inflammation in our body. And as we all know, the inflammatory response and the inflammation in the body can cause a lot of challenges. So by helping to bring that inflammation down as well in the cell, it helps with cellular inflammation as well as some other nutrients that are proprietary in the blend, but it's very minimal. The beautiful thing here, very low dosage, but really incredible absorption and no waste. So the body doesn't have to deal with any toxicity in any way, shape, or form. It's pretty brilliant. The hydrostat, the one thing that I look at, Santos and Sheldon, is that the hydrostat is an ultra pure water, structured water that basically these little tiny water molecule cages are carrying these incredible nanonutrients. And I look at it as such. We know that the essence of life, if you will, one of the main aspects of that is water, which of course is hydrogen and oxygen. So not only are we going to hydrate the body and the cells love water. We all know that. It's a beautiful thing. But when you hydrate the cell and you give it oxygen and hydrogen and glutathione, you really, in essence, given it, the essence of life. To me, it's kind of almost like what I would consider the holy grail of nutrition and wellness. And it's all packed in this beautiful little blue bottle called NutraSwish. Maybe Sheldon, would you like to add a little bit to what I've shared so far from the standpoint of the process of what we're talking about?
Well, that's pretty complete, Ray, what you've shared. But what I would like to share is some of my own personal experience.
Sure.
If that's okay at this time.
Sure. Go ahead.
So I've been using it for, I don't know, I guess just over 3 months, I believe. And my sleep has completely altered from the way it was before. Sometimes I would wake up in the night and to use the bathroom. And when I went back to sleep, it felt like sometimes I was lying there for hours awake. And now, if I happen to get up, I fall back asleep quite quickly, number one. And number two, my sleep, it's so much deeper. I used to toss and turn all the time. I have some issues with my neck. And if I do toss and turn, I'm doing it in my sleep because it used to wake me up every time I went from the left side to the right side or turn over or move my knee or whatever. So now, and I understand because I've done a lot of research on this too, sleep is critical for every process and function in the body, including metabolism and also inflammation. And if you're not getting appropriate sleep, going through all the cycles required, and some of them you go through more than once, then your body is not going to be at peak performance or nowhere near it. It'll be on like a downward slope compared to what it would be if you got a solid sleep. And that's the main thing that it's done for me. Also, I feel like I have more energy and more stamina. And it's interesting because the stamina only comes when I need it. It's not like, because like if I'm sitting at home, I don't notice it. But if I go out and I'm active, I notice that I have more stamina because I go dancing once a week and I dance like a madman and I'm 70 years old. So I can notice the difference there. And that's pretty much all I have to say.
Well, that's a lot, Sheldon.
Wow.
Yeah, very much. Maybe, Santos, if you would like, if there's anything else you'd like to share in your own testimonial, and then maybe I'll give mine, and then we could maybe look at if there's any questions, and or we could pop into 2 quick videos where we could let the owner share some insight of it. He'll kind of give a little bit of history as well as his background. And this is a gentleman that we've partnered with that's done over $4 billion in sales. And he kind of pretty much was retired, but this brought him out of retirement. Once they were able to develop this hydrostat nano delivery system that no one else has, nobody has anything like what we have. There is liposomal and there are other, but this is very unique and proprietary and different. Can only you get it through our company, Numi. So do you want to share just briefly, Santos, some of the things that you felt this has helped you with?
Yeah, same with Sheldon, sleep. I find that when I go back to bed, if I do get up to go to the bathroom, I just fall back to sleep pretty much instantly. So sleeping has improved, definitely. I struggled with that for many, many years, sleep deprivation. So that's one area. Another area is stamina. I've noticed more integrated muscular and neurological functions in my biology. Mentally as well, I find that it relaxes me as soon as I take it. I don't know why that is. I just feel relaxed. I don't know whether that's my mental suggestion, knowing how good this is, that I just think, oh wow, I've just done a good thing and I feel good. But I do. I feel really good. I notice it straight away. But what I'm enjoying with it is the stamina, mostly. So, because I do a lot. I'm very, very busy. I spend about 10 hours a day behind the computer, have done for the last 20 years, with all the researching I do and all the shows and interviews and stuff. So that has taken a toll on my eyes. I still don't wear glasses. I mean, these are just, I think these are Amazon $2 4-strength glasses. So, when there's something really, really small, I just put them on like that. And I always carry them with me because there's always something small that you're going to have to read. So, but I've found that that's helped there as well, my eyesight. I can open my eyes a lot more. So, yeah, nothing miraculous. I've seen some stuff that's almost miraculous, with all the testimonials that I've seen, and it's just so encouraging. So nothing miraculous, but definitely an improvement. But what I think is pretty much miraculous is the bodybuilder guy. I think that's going to be in the video you're showing. So why don't we have a look at that?
Absolutely. Well, myself as well, I've been in wellness for 37 years, Santos, and I've seen everything come down the pike. And I have to tell you, one for one, the results people are getting is pretty remarkable. It's very quick, which is very important. So obviously, and of course, some people do take a longer period of time to see some changes, but most people are seeing something within the first week, whether it's sleeping better. Myself personally, my sleep has gotten much deeper. I'm waking up less in the middle of the night to go to the washroom, so I'm really pleased about that. It's even helped me with my blood sugars have been getting more in balance. So I'm really grateful for that. As well, myself, same thing like Sheldon, and yourself, a lot more stamina, a lot more endurance. I found the mental clarity has been amazing because I used to struggle, with feeling tired a lot of the time, even though my regimen is about $400 or $500 a month of other nutritionals. What I'm finding now, I don't need as much as what I was taking before. But now my energy is very consistent. I don't have those lows in the afternoon. I'm 60, and I quite frankly feel 25. I haven't felt like that in years. So I'm very grateful for the swish and the spray. I find when you use the spray, like I just sprayed, and it's like a tightening and tingling and a refreshing, like a sea breeze just hits your face and wakes you. It's beautiful. I'm so grateful. And it's just 2 products. It's super simple. One internal, one external.
Super simple.
And if people like the idea, if you're spraying and swishing and you're doing the spraying, 3 to 5 times a day, and you're swishing a couple of times a day. I do like you in the morning. I do the 4 o'clock and a few times up to 8 o'clock. But if you do that, if you're able to swish and spray, you can be blessed and benefit tremendously from these 2 beautiful products that are also very priced right. I'm really grateful because many companies, if they had these products, they'd be selling them for $150 each for a month's supply. In fact, for what they do, it probably should be even more, but the owner is all about affordability for the masses, and I'm so grateful for what he's put together. So what we'll do maybe is, would you like me to start with that beautiful little 17 minutes with him explaining everything? Because I find when I listen to Stephen share from his heart, it takes a lot to get me interested because, I've been around the block and seen a lot of things. So I'm really impressed. So do you have me as an admin so I can open up my screen?
Yep, you can share.
Okay, great. So let me know if you can see these videos. Can you see Stephen there?
Yep.
Perfect. So let me.
Hi, I'm Steve Scott.
There we go.
And you don't know me, but you may have seen my products on TV. About 45 years ago, I was only 27 years old, and I found a product that I thought was a breakthrough product. It could do something nothing else in the world could do nearly as well. And so I partnered with a friend who had $5,000, and we started a little company. And 5 months later, our sales hit $1 million a week. $1 million a week on one product. Why? Because it was a breakthrough. What's a breakthrough? A breakthrough is something that can do something that nothing else in the world can do as effectively, efficiently, or as economically. And from that point on, I had a simple formula: find breakthrough products, put them on TV with a celebrity, and sell them to the public. And we generated more than 40 million phone calls over my career and billions of dollars in products. For example, we found a breakthrough weight loss product, one that you didn't have to count calories. You didn't have to look at grams of sugar or grams of fat. It was the most simple, and yet it was amazingly effective. We had one guy said in the Guinness Book of Records, he lost 715 pounds. That's how effective that breakthrough was. It was called Deal-A-Mill, and its inventor was a guy named Richard Simmons. And we took that to the world and is sweating to the oldies. We found a treadmill that was a breakthrough, and Jane Fonda was our spokesperson on that. We found hair care products with an inventor that they were amazing, and Cher was our spokesperson on that. But the one that most people remember because it's still on television, we launched in 1996. It was the Total Gym with Chuck Norris and Christy Brinkley. I retired from that company quite a few years ago and started a new company a couple of years ago. And the new company I started around the biggest breakthrough I have found in my...
No, turn it on.
I have to ask for unmuting.
Oh no, stop. Oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. Hey, Ray, can you just pause?
If you can get
Stop.
that tennis ball,
We made a mistake. Just pause. Go back a minute. Because I got her to mute you because there was noise coming in.
Oh, and then you weren't able to hear.
Yes. So go back half a minute, please.
Half a minute?
Yes.
Sure. Okay.
Oh, that looks too much.
Too much?
Yeah.
Hang on.
No, just 20 seconds.
20 seconds?
Yeah.
Right there?
No, I don't think we were there yet.
So a little bit before that?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
All right. My apologies. My fault, totally.
No problem.
I do not want to miss anything he's saying.
was our spokesperson on that. But the one that most people remember because it's still on television, we launched in 1996. It was the Total Gym with Chuck Norris and Christy Brinkley. I retired from that company quite a few years ago and started a new company a couple years ago. And the new company, I started around the biggest breakthrough I have found in my lifetime. Let me show you something. This is a tennis ball. No breakthrough there. This is a sewing needle. No breakthrough here. Now, imagine if somebody said, I will pay you $1 billion if you can get that tennis ball through the eye of that needle. Now, I don't care how hard, and you can't break the tennis ball and you can't enlarge the needle. I don't care what I would do, no matter how much I wanted that $1 billion, I could not get the tennis ball through the eye of a needle. Nobody could. But now imagine if we found a process where we could reduce that tennis ball so tiny that you could get 40 or 50 of them into the eye of the needle at the same time. That would be a breakthrough. That's called nanosizing. What you do when you nanosize is particles clump together in solution. So you separate the particles, and then you have microseconds to encapsulate the particles in either a fat, which they call lipids or liposomes, or a chemical, and then they won't come back together. Well, we found a way to nanosize in something that wasn't a fat, and it's not a chemical. In fact, we found a way to reorganize ultra pure water molecules around those nanoparticles. And that allowed us to get to sizes that were a fraction of the size of normal nanoparticles. We could get so tiny that we could see things that nobody had ever seen. So what we did, one of my favorite molecules, actually no oxygen-based life on Earth without it, is a molecule called glutathione. It's made by every cell in your body, every cell in every animal body, in plants. And like I say, there'd be no oxygen-based life without it. It's as critical to your health and performance as oxygen is. And it performs all these incredible functions, over 400 functions in the human body. Quite a few of them are critical for life. Stop those functions and you die. Okay, it's really, I call it God's miracle molecule. And the problem is that our glutathione levels decline every year. They decline every decade, about on average, anywhere from 8 to 12% per decade. So I'm in my 70s, and so my glutathione levels should be half, less than half of what they were in my 20s. Now, glutathione, among other things, it is the primary protector of your cell. It is the detoxifier. Your cell has many industrial chemicals in it, and they need to get out. Well, guess what gets them out? Glutathione. It is the primary protector of your mitochondrial DNA. That's critical to your life. It is the protector of your immune cells. You know, your immune cells protect you, but what protects them? When your glutathione levels are high, your immune cells can reproduce explosively in response to a bacterial or viral insult. But when they're low, your immune cells reproduce sluggishly. So, and we all know, having come through what we've come through in the last couple of years, we all know the value of our immune system. Those little T cells. T cells are amazing. They're assassins. They target bacteria, viruses, cancer, and they're what your body depends on. They're called the assassins of the immune system, okay? And the faster they can reproduce to a bacterial or viral insult, the more effective they're going to be. We need to keep our immune system healthy. And the key to protecting the immune system is glutathione. So glutathione declines by 10% per decade, but the assault on the cells don't. You know, every cell in your body, you have about 60 trillion of them, are attacked 10,000 to 20,000 times a day by things called free radicals. Now, a free radical is just a thief. It wants to steal an electron from your cell and then make your cell vulnerable to all sorts of problems. And so what glutathione does, instead of your cell donating one of its electrons, the glutathione molecule donates one of its electrons and it neutralizes or sequesters the free radical. Amazing. And then it recycles itself. The same molecule recycles itself over and over and over again. Glutathione is also critical to oxygen transfer. When hemoglobin is manufactured in your body, it cannot bind to an oxygen molecule, so it's useless. It has to be reduced to what's called a positive 2. The reduction agent that reduces hemoglobin to a positive 2 is glutathione. So it allows your hemoglobin molecules to bind to an oxygen molecule and deliver that molecule wherever it needs to go. Dr. Oz did an entire show just on glutathione. Here's what he said at the beginning of that show. The most powerful antioxidant you've never heard of. It's one of the keys to fighting off the diseases you fear the most. It's called glutathione. Now write it down because it's critically important. And in that show, Dr. Oz had Dr. David Katz, who was head of Yale University's research department in disease prevention. And listen to what he said on glutathione. It really is the most important antioxidant. It's the one the body relies on to clean up critical toxins. He said, if you're chronically run down, if you're chronically fatigued, if your body just isn't firing on all cylinders, low glutathione may be part of it, both cause and effect. People used to think vitamin C was the most critical molecule. And in 1984, there were 16,000 studies on vitamin C. There were only 8,000 studies published on glutathione. Well, as they began to study more and more, they realized that glutathione is the key to human health and human performance. Today, there's over 160,000 studies on glutathione compared to 75,000 studies on vitamin C. It is certainly one of the most studied molecules in all of molecular biology. Ask your doctor about it. Most doctors will say, yeah, I think of it. I read about that in medical school. But ask any molecular biologist about it and their eyes will light up. Oh man, let me tell you about glutathione because it's so cool. Well, the problem is, as our levels decline, we need to bring them back up. And that's not so easy. Why? Because glutathione itself is a very fragile molecule. It gets destroyed in the gut. It's rate-limiting amino acid. It's made up of 3 amino acids. 2 are in abundance, glutamic acid and glycine. But the 3rd amino acid that makes up glutathione is L-cysteine. L-cysteine, like the glutathione molecule, is so fragile that when it gets into the stomach, it's destroyed. Now, you can buy, there are ways around it. You can buy liposomal glutathione. You can buy liposomal L-cysteine, and those are somewhat effective. Well, what would happen if we could nanosize the glutathione particles and make them so tiny that you didn't have to go through the stomach? They would literally transfer through the mucous membranes in your cheek and sublingually and be absorbed that way. What would happen if we could actually make the particles, the molecules, if we could get them to the size to where they could be more bioavailable to the skin. Well, that's what we've done. Our technology is called Hydrostat, and it's a nanotechnology that is novel and unique to us. We're the only ones that have it. Nobody else in the world has it. And it uses reorganized ultra-pure water molecules to surround the nanoparticles. Do you think your cells want to have more water? Yeah, believe me, they like water more than they like fat. So we went ahead, we created a supplement where we nanosized glutathione, L-cysteine, and some other cofactors. And we went ahead and we gave it to athletes because we know if it's going to really work, it's going to change performance. Well, we saw amazing things with athletes. One athlete who was on the downside of his career, he had been a strength and conditioning coach with the Seattle Seahawks. When he was 48, he set a world record bench pressing 804 pounds. And after that, it was downhill. By the time he was 59, he could only bench 725. Now, that's a lot. It set the record for his age group, but he was no longer competing with the elite. And you can blame it on age and loss of lean muscle and everything else. Well, he started using our product. And because it cut his recovery time so much, instead of lifting heavy once a week, he could lift heavy 4 times a week, which changed everything. He could also work out back muscles that he hadn't been able to work out in years. And his bench press in 6 months of using our product went from 725 pounds to 915 pounds. 6 months later, as a 60-year-old, he set a new world record for all ages, 1,050 pounds, okay? Up 300 pounds from a year and a half earlier. Nobody does that, right? Well, he will tell you that by swishing, he cut his recovery time so much he could work out more often. Guess what? He was the first athlete I gave the product to. I started giving it to other athletes I knew, and they saw the same things. Man, the first time the runners and cyclists were using it, they were breaking their personal records. The very first time, it just blew them away. Same thing with boxers and everybody we gave it to on the athletic world. They just went crazy. And what's so cool is there's no stimulants. There's nothing bad for you in it. It's heart healthy, brain healthy. It's just glutathione and some other cofactors. Well, then we decided what would happen if we put it into a formula for skin. Once again, getting that molecule size. You know, your skin is meant to keep things out. But what happens if, how much more bioavailability would we be by reducing the particle size so tiny that if the skin wants it, the skin could receive it? So we went ahead and did that, and the results were amazing. For example, look at this woman. That was 7 weeks of spraying her face just 5 times a day, and look at the difference it made. Here's her 80-year-old mother who sprayed her face about 5 times a day at 80 for 3 weeks. Look at the difference. And we just kept seeing things like this over and over again. So we formed a company, and the company is called Numi. And we just launched it July 7th. We are so excited. It's amazing what we've seen there, but we knew we would, because what happens when a person can take something, and the way you use ours is you just take 2 little capfuls, put it in your mouth, swish it for 30 to 60 seconds, and then swallow. And you will feel it. No stimulants or anything, but you'll start to feel it within a couple minutes. It's that fast acting. And we put our skincare solution. We nanosized not only glutathione and L-cysteine, but hyaluronic acid. You've all heard about that on TV for the skin. Collagen, we all know about that. Plus some other amino acids that helps your skin to produce more of its own collagen and more of its own elastin. And look at this woman. This is so cool. Look what it did for her face in 4 weeks. And everybody was saying, oh man, how much weight did you lose? She didn't lose any weight. And yet look at her face. Look at the difference, okay? These are the kinds of things we're seeing all over the place. I hope you'll look us up. I hope you'll watch our videos. This is a breakthrough that I want to take to the world. When I take a product out on television, I have to pay the television stations millions of dollars. I've had one product where, it's sold almost $4 billion in product sales, but we spent hundreds of millions of dollars, into TV stations, coffers. When I take them out on retail, guess where the hundreds of millions of dollars go? They go into the retail stores. Well, what would happen if we could actually bypass the retail stores, bypass the TV stations, and use everyday people, moms and dads, and people that just want to have an additional source of income? What would happen if, instead of putting all of that money into TV stations or stores, instead we could put it into everyday families by letting them, through word of mouth, distribute our products? So that's what we do at NUMMI. I hope you'll look at us. I hope you'll watch the videos. And most of all, I hope you'll join with us. We're looking for partners. And my whole life changed when I learned how to effectively partner. We want to effectively partner with you.
That's cool.
All right.
Beautiful.
I could not say it more clearly. And you can see his heart and his passion.
That's because.
Oh, hang on a second. Sorry.
That I'm actually putting in my mouth.
There we go. Sorry about that. Started to play somebody else. Okay, so I've got that done. Now, did you want me to get right into Dr. Crozier, or did you want to talk a little bit about what we heard there? Is there any questions maybe that you thought of, Santos, that you may want to bring up?
Well, I just want to bring to the attention of my audience, which I have a lot of vegan followers at the Academy. Just take note, guys, that in the facial spray, which you can replace with this completely vegan product if you are a strict vegan, which I know a lot of you are, you can get the same effects with the liquid. Okay, so this is vegan. The collagen in the spray here is not vegan. So the packages for you guys will consist of just a swish, and rest assured, it's all you need. As long as you get the collagen in you, I mean, it's going to go to your face anyway. It's going to go to every cell of the body. It's just that people who are non-vegan, they use this one and they get a more rapid effect on the surface of the skin. That's pretty much, as far as I know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's about the only difference.
And the hyaluronic acid, there's also extra peptides and amino acids in the NUMMI skin. So the one thing I would say in defense of it, in an understanding, is that the collagen, they cannot source a plant-based collagen that will give the proper results that are needed from the collagen to affect the skin. And they're using scales of the fish versus, meat. So, which is usually discarded. So in an understanding of that, it's, of course, a preference, but definitely the benefits are pretty remarkable on the skin. Any skin irritations with either the NutraSwish or the NUMMI skin, but with the NUMMI skin, the extra peptides and amino acids, and of course, there's also the curcumin, as well as the glutathione is in the spray, and phenomenal for helping the skin to rebuild. So, because it's the building blocks that it needs, but you will get a lot of benefit just even from the NutraSwish, spraying that on the face and or the body, just not as profound.
Yeah.
Did you want to say something, Sheldon?
Yeah, I just want to quickly state something. A lot of the testimonials that are made available through the New Me Facebook pages and some of their YouTubes were actually done prior to them having the New Me facial spray. So those testimonials, you can check them out. They were created with just the NutraSwish.
Yes.
Just so you're aware of that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I said that you can get similar results, guys. So for all you guys who are hard and fast vegan and, you know, will not have anything to do with byproducts of animal products, that's fine. This is the one for you guys. That's 100% vegan. So, but as for the other one, just for folks who are not, you know, because I'm not judging anyone here. I am mostly vegan. I do have honey, so that disqualifies me from being a vegan. But have been vegetarian, plant-based for 15 years. So for all those who are not, this does not come from. As Ray said, it comes from the scales of the fish, which are sourced. How do they source that?
That I'm not sure of. But I do know that, you know, everything about New Me is about proper balance for the ecosystem as well, too. So that I could find out for you and then maybe let you know, and you could always mention it on an upcoming episode that you may do.
We'll be doing an upcoming episode, guys, that's for sure, because I'm backing this product with 100% confidence. So we'll be back and we'll do that. We'll have all that for you guys. There's only so much you can pack in an hour. I mean, we've only got 15 minutes, but we might have to go over 10 minutes. Yeah, I don't mind. So let's go on to the next video, please.
Sure. Now, this is just a little 8-minute video with Dr. Gordon Crozier, who is world-renowned about glutathione. He's also on our advisory board. So let me pop that up. Okay.
What is glutathione? Glutathione is the master antioxidant of your body. It is probably the premier and most important peptide in your body. With over 9,000 different peptides in our bodies, this one is the most premier one that actually has over 400 different functions in your body. I am board certified in OBGYN and in integrative medicine. Integrative medicine helps me to explore all aspects of medicine. I'm also certified in stem cell therapy and peptides. Glutathione will affect mental capabilities as well as physical capabilities. It actually helps to drive energy at the mitochondrial level. Glutathione will actually help with your T cells and your B cells. Those are both part of your immune system, both the innate and the adaptive immune system, and they help you replicate much faster than the normal cell when you have adequate glutathione and you come in contact with either a virus, a bacteria, or a parasite. So these things will replicate at a faster rate so that you can actually have the amount of capabilities to come against an onslaught of a virus or a bacteria. In today's world, we want a top-notch immunity. And do you know that you can take in a bunch of supplements, but your supplements aren't going to be directed to where they need to go. They won't be taken up by the cells without glutathione. Glutathione actually directs every supplement where to go and how it should be used. At the age of 21, you probably have the maximum amount of glutathione that you're going to have in your body. After the age of 21, the glutathione is going to decline about 10% every decade, every 10 years of life until you're running out. You can never get too much glutathione. Glutathione is one of those things that you're always going to use it and reuse it. So you recycle some of your glutathione. There's some of us that have genetic glitches where we can't recycle our glutathione well, and so it just gets wasted out. A lot of times when you go to a physician's practice, they will use IV glutathione. So IV glutathione is okay. It's a good alternative, but it's not the best because it's not convenient for you on a daily basis. And the half-life is fairly short for glutathione because you use it up fairly quickly. So the half-life is not that long. And then what we want to do is we want to restore that every day. So really a bioavailable form that you can take on a daily basis of glutathione. A lot of people ask me why nano instead of taking pills? Because there's a plethora of pills on the market, but they don't seem to do the trick. So nano is actually taking these particle sizes and breaking them up, then coating them so that they're smaller amounts so that you can actually absorb them. They become what we call bioavailable. A bioavailable product means it can be used by your body and by your cells. We want your cells to take up these little particles of glutathione and be utilized quickly and adequately. So nanoform is just breaking down a large mass into a small mass that actually coats it and becomes available to your body. There's a lot of products out there that say they're nanotechnology and they're actually microtechnology when you go to look at the size. If you look at the size, so it has to be less than 100 microns. So that's how you know it's nanotechnology. To absorb appropriately, you need it less than that, 100 nanometers. Over 10 years ago, my clients, I wanted their glutathione levels raised up because I knew it would help them feel better, have more energy, be able to do the things they wanted to get accomplished. So I began a process of giving them different forms of IV glutathione and oral glutathione. I really wasn't seeing the results that I really wanted to see. And they really had some reaction and some good benefits, but it wasn't the benefits that I really wanted with these clients. So I began to realize that with medicine, things are transitioning. We are developing new things. And about 5 years ago, I began looking for companies that had nano-sized glutathione because my clients would really benefit from a nano-sized glutathione. They could actually absorb it very quickly. It could be used several times during the day. They could optimize their glutathione immediately, and it would be there for them to use when they needed to. So I was looking for a company, and I came across a company that was actually developing a nano form of glutathione. I became very excited. And because of that, I had the privy to be able to try some of this product on myself and several of my clients that they wanted to really try this out. And it worked wonderful for them. The athletes could perform better. They could outperform what they ever were performing before. They had better recovery. My other clients could have more energy. They could focus. They were having great results with this product. I became sold out because I believe in this company and I believe in this process. This nano form of glutathione is so available that as soon as you put it in your mouth, you'll begin to absorb some of the particles. The company I'm talking about has developed this product called NutraSwish. NutraSwish is an amazing product. You begin to put it in your mouth, swish it around for a little bit, and then swallow it. And you absorb all these particles of glutathione. These are nano form of glutathione. So you absorb it very rapidly, and they begin to see results fairly quickly, which is amazing for them because then they can go on throughout their day and they can have the energy they need. They can have the benefits of adequate forms of glutathione. For athletes, it's great. If they're endurance athletes and they're going to do a long event where they're going to be 4 or 6 hours in their event, they can swish this every hour and have the benefits and have stable forms of glutathione throughout the event so that they don't get fatigued. They still have energy. They can still produce energy. And afterwards, they will have great recovery from that event. So I love that product because of that. They've also developed a topical form of glutathione with other amino acids. The amino acids are also nano-sized. And you just apply this to your skin, and the results are phenomenal. And women love it because it really will help them look better. It helps them look younger, and everybody wants to look younger. So this is a great product for everyone, men and women of all ages. I am 65 years old, and I use this spray twice a day, morning and evening, and I spray it on my skin, and I think I look pretty good for 65 years old.
Here we go. So let me just get out of there. Back. Okay. So I think that really highlights significantly, you know, from a doctor perspective, if you will. And oh, hang on. Sorry, guys. There we go. Sorry about that. All right. I was thinking, Santos, that maybe we could maybe wrap up from a perspective on the products and then maybe open up for Q&A. Is there any Q&A that you have from any of the listeners?
Yep, we can open that up, guys. Do you want to drop the Zoom link in there for the listeners? Yeah. So listeners, join in if you want to ask some questions. Right now's the time, although we will be back in 2 weeks at the same hour to do this again, so you might have a better chance then. And let me just see what's going on there in the chat room.
Oh, there is one question, Santos, that probably might be mentioning, because sometimes people would ask this, so maybe I'll just address it. And that is that we are using in the NutraSwish and in the NuMe Skin, we're using a medical grade glutathione identical to what is used in the glutathione IVs. The difference, however, is full absorption and cost prohibitive. We're not cost prohibitive, but to do an IV every day or maybe twice a day would be extremely expensive, whereas with us, extremely affordable, you know, to use the swish and or the skin. So medical grade. And one thing that Stephen mentioned earlier, it's an affiliate marketing company. So people can, if they wish, if they do share these two products with others, they can actually get their products comped in the sense that they'll make enough commission to offset their own cost. And they can develop a part-time income that would be a full-time income at a part-time basis, shall we say, as their affiliate group grows. So that might be some questions that maybe we can address now, so that way, in case they had that question, you know, they'll have an answer.
Yeah, this is pretty much health and wealth in the same package. So for those keen individuals who understand the potential there, they will be more interested in that as well. So I've got my affiliate link on my website, universaltruthschool.com. So if you go there in the products page, universaltruthschool.com, right down the bottom there, you'll see NuMe, and that's my affiliate link, and it will be at the bottom of this video in the description as well, and it's in the chat room. So it's been put in the chat room there for you guys. You can click on that if you want to go ahead and get the NuMe and try it. So where are we up to? What else have you got there for us, Ray?
Well, I would let everyone know that because, you know, we appreciate you very much, Santos, and Sheldon and I would be very happy to assist anyone, whether they are customers or members, as far as information, additional information, to assist you, because we understand and know how busy you are with the different projects you have. But you know, I know that this is very near and dear to your heart, And we definitely will help in any way that we can for anyone that shows interest, whether it's just to be a customer, enjoy the blessings of these two products, or whether it is to share it with others. Because to me, we like to share good things. And this is remarkable what's happening with people's health. And that's so, so important, especially in today's society and what's happened over the last few years. As we know, if you can build up and protect your immune system, your DNA, your immune system as far as the T cells and your white blood cells, if you can help protect that and strengthen that, they deal with the bacterias and viruses, as Stephen had mentioned in that first video. So, it's very, very important that we keep ourselves very healthy and balanced. I think someone did join us.
Yeah. That's not anyone who's asking any questions, though. So I think I've checked the chat room. It's very, very busy, actually, but I'm looking for questions. I'm not really good at doing two things at once. So
I'll look and see if there's any questions here. What natural foods to eat with that stuff in it?
Okay.
Yes. Well, that's the thing about glutathione. It's not really good in digestion. Remember, it's a very volatile, hence the reason as we age, we decline. No matter how much food you eat, the normal aging process happens. What we're doing here is assisting the body, just like a glutathione IV. It's very difficult through food because of the digestion process, because it's very fragile, both cysteine and the other amino acids that make up glutathione. So that's very difficult. It says here, is glutathione same as copper peptide? I guess that's the question. No, it's very different. Glutathione is the master molecule, the master antioxidant, responsible for so many different functions. Some of those functions, by the way, of course, to detoxify the cells, very critically important. I think they're saying today with science, we understand there's over 200 toxins in every single cell in our body. So we definitely need glutathione to help in the detoxification of our cells, but also heavy metals. And like Stephen mentioned earlier, there's now he said 166,000 medical studies. There's actually over 168,000 on glutathione alone. And any challenge, you just type in glutathione in that challenge on pubmed.gov, and you'll see a plethora of studies that have been done. It's the most researched nutrient, and for good reason, because it's the master antioxidant, the master molecule of your body. And as we age, we deplete, hence why we age and look older. So we can't actually turn back the clock chronologically in our bodies by taking glutathione on a regular basis, whether we spray it and or put it through our mouth and swish it. We are getting, so imagine just swishing and spraying, and you're going to have some great benefits. Doesn't seem like there's I don't see any other. Do you have any other chats in the background there, Santos?
No, I don't. I saw the same comments there as well. Is there any other questions there, Paige? No, that's fine. It looks like there's a lot of communicating going on there, and it's all very, very positive, and I think people get the message. So that was pretty good for a first presentation, guys. I think there's going to be questions coming along. I think all that we need to do now is perhaps you could share how people can get in touch with you rather than me, because you guys have offered to help them and me, and so and you have more experience. So how can people get in touch with you to know more, perhaps, you know, watch more content, videos, etc., rather than coming to me? I've got so much on, guys, it's not funny. I virtually packed this in today because in in 20 minutes I'll be doing my 2-hour lecture on astrology live at the Academy. So, you know, and then I've got an appointment at 6 o'clock, that goes to 8. Every single day is packed. So I'm not going to be the guy to be able to really help you as well. So how do people get in touch with you?
Go ahead, Sheldon.
Okay, for me, the best thing to do probably is I'm not very good when it comes to technical stuff. So you can find me on Facebook under Sheldon Samuel, and you can send me a message. You can message me on Facebook Messenger. Other than that, I can give you my phone number, but it's actually a landline. It's 647-351-6105. And just so you're aware, the billing is under someone else's name. So if you dial that number, 647-351-6105, it's me, and no one else answers that phone.
Perfect.
That's it.
Nice.
So for myself, you can also find me on Facebook under Raymond Donnelly, Donnelly. And my cell number is 647-331-8751. You can also find me on WhatsApp, of course, obviously on Messenger. So we are certainly here to help answer any questions you have, and no question is a silly question. They're all very important, and we value you, we value Santos, and we value your questions.
Lovely. Wonderful introduction video for this great product. Amazing product, guys. Absolutely 100% I do back this. I am so much more into health protocols than I ever was. I always have been all my life, but 6 months ago I nearly died. I lost so much weight. I couldn't move. I was going blind. I was nearly blind. I hallucinated for 10 days straight. Hallucinations at night. And everyone was worried for me. It was the worst time of my life. Circumstances, people were dying around me, my father, my best friend. All kinds of deaths were happening. I had a home robbery. They stole my computer. And I just went downhill, nearly died in December. New Year's Day, I remember, was such an awful day. And I picked myself up by doing certain protocols and just giving time to myself. And those protocols saved me. And ever since then, I've been way more diligent in that area because it saved me. I mean, other people may not have known the things that I did and the things I did to recover. And I'm doing really well now. I'm doing really well 6 months later. But so that's the reason why I'm here with you guys today, because I'm interested in other people's health as well. And sharing is caring, as someone mentioned there in the chat. So what a better way to do that than a product that has got the backing of testimonials of many people. It's got the science and the affordability as well, and it's a good plan for people who are sharers, because they can also benefit from the wealth perspective as well. So what we'll do now, guys, is from the feedback I get from this, we'll tailor the next, in 2 weeks, guys. I'm going to be on with Ray and Sheldon perhaps again, or maybe someone else, another guest, but Ray will definitely join me 2 weeks to the day at the same hour, and we're going to do part 2, and we will tailor that show to the queries and the questions and the feedback that we get. So today was just an introduction. We showed Stephen Scott there, the founder of the company, and he gave some great testimonials of second-hand testimonials, and well, he didn't actually give some of himself, but in other videos I've seen him where he sprayed his hand and not the other, and his hand looks like about 20 years younger than the other hand. So he can show you photos of that. So he's got his own testimonials. We can show stuff like that. We can show that doctor that we mentioned, the Spanish-speaking doctor. What was that guy's name again?
Dr. Valdez.
Valdez. I'll have to remember that, because that was one of the best videos I've seen on glutathione. Coming from a doctor's perspective, and all of the information that he gave on glutathione, and went the best time to take it, 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and all of that, and all of the other knowledge. That's what really consolidated that with me. And thank you, Sheldon, for sharing that with me 2 months ago, because that really got the ball rolling for me. It really did. And by the way, I've been putting it in my hair, and my hair feels a lot better. It's growing better, and it's thicker and slightly darker, but I've been putting this in my hair. And because my hair's been an issue with me for a while, that it just doesn't grow. And I've always had long hair. When I was a teenager, I grew up in the 70s, of course, long hair, and I want that back. And it's coming back. It's getting thicker. It definitely is getting thicker. So it's very encouraging.
I do want to address one quick thing before we finish, because you kind of touched on it gently, and I think it's very important for those that are still with us listening. It's really important as well, because of the time that we live in right now. There's a lot of people that are struggling mentally and having, challenges, with frustration and a whole bunch of other things. You will find that, for example, my son, he has a very high stress job with Bell, and he is remarking how this has helped him so much in keeping his spirit up and keeping him encouraged. So I really want to, maybe the last thing to say about this today is that this is going to help encourage you as well, because when you balance, you start to bring some balance with your glutathione levels in your body, everything starts to work much better and in more harmony. So, if you're struggling with that regard, know that this is going to be also of a benefit and a blessing to you as well.
Beautiful. All right, listeners, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you to you two gentlemen for sharing your precious time with us and sharing such a great product. Once again, guys, you go to universaltruthschool.com, and in the products tab at the bottom there, you'll see how you can get this product and try it out and see how you go. And we will be with you guys in 2 weeks' time, and that's a heads up for all you listeners and anyone else who's going to be watching this subsequently from today. Thanks once again, guys, and take care until we see you in a couple of weeks, and keep swishing.
All right.
Ciao.